literally way out there and I heard the music start. I'm like, oh, run! Good morning, everyone! How is everyone doing today? Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I am Reverend Dr. Jonathan Zenz. This is a spiritual community and we are here to celebrate love. So does that sound like a good thing to do? Oh, you know what? I never started this. We're just gonna go past that. Yeah, so if you're able and you feel like you would like to, you are welcome to stand up and dance as we open ourselves in song this morning.
I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I see you dripping with abundance and ease. I see you enjoying the life you please. Playful at work and creative at play. I see you in gratitude every day. And I say, I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright.
I know the dreams of your heart want to fly. It's time to spread your wings and give it a try. The love you give, you know you're bound to receive. Your good can only grow the more you believe. Come on now.
I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Your biggest self can't be denied. You've got no place to hide because
I know the power within you.
I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright.
Well, yes, good morning, beautiful humans. What a delight to share a Sunday morning with you. I have returned from my last expected Sunday away for the remainder of the year. So grateful to be back. And I want to acknowledge with deep gratitude, deep gratitude, those who stepped into this role while I was away. And let me tell you, it's not easy to be up here. Imagine yourself running a whole service just for a moment. Just imagine yourself doing that. It's not easy, is it? There's another minister in the room, I know, right? And I want to acknowledge the fact that Reverend William Gill, Reverend Sue Oliver, and Reverend Felicia Searcy took the reins and really so beautifully led this community while I was away. Thank you so much. I think I saw Sue here. I haven't seen, did Sue come in? There she is in the back. Hi, Sue. And I haven't seen Felicia, but if Felicia's watching online, thank you so much. Grateful. We are a spiritual community here to teach practical tools for a better life. And I'm now looking at my notes and realizing I'm skipping something. You go away and you come back and you don't know what to do. On the first Sunday of every month, we celebrate anyone who's having a birthday during that particular month. And so as you were coming in, Roberta and our greeters may have asked you if you were celebrating a birthday, and if you were, to fill out a form that includes a choice of some registered charities that we like to support at Unity of Tucson. And so if you are celebrating a birthday and did not fill out that form, would you raise your hand so we can get a form to you? Yes, there's a couple right up here, yes, beautiful. And later on in the service, we will return back to this, what is happening. I promise. You may not believe everything you hear today, but you will hear something that you believe, and I hold very firmly in that. One of the things that is important to me is to acknowledge that we don't all have to share the same beliefs. What we're doing here at Unity of Tucson and in the entire New Thought movement is inviting each and every one of us to take a look at what it is we believe, because as the great Master Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. And so if we are addressing those spaces of belief within ourselves, within our minds, and within our hearts, we are put in the place of power to change our lives for the better. So, you may bump up against something today, and that's okay. It's just a point of awareness to deepen into what it is you do believe and to make some determinations around that. We carry a vision and mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for us to share the words of our vision statement first and foremost. Here they are. Let's say this together. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we see the world. The mission are the steps we take to get there. And so let us share together the words of our mission statement. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. If you're joining us for the first time today, let me acknowledge anyone who may be joining us for the first time online as we live stream out to multiple channels. Deeply grateful that you've decided to share your Sunday morning with us, or anytime you're watching, because you may be watching on a Thursday night on the archive, and that's magnificent too. But grateful that you've decided to share your time here. If you would like to connect with us, we'd be delighted if you'd go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out some information there, and we will keep this magnificent conversation going. If you're here in the room and joining us for the first time today, well, we have a gift that we would like to give to you. So if you are comfortable with identifying yourself by standing up, we would like to give you this gift and also, spread some love upon you. So who's here for the first time today? Is there anyone joining us? Wonderful. Welcome. Grateful to have you here. Grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. And if you would remain standing for just a moment, because it's not just the tangible physical gifts that we have to offer. We have something else that we need to let you know, and that is we actually knew you were going to be here today. Yeah, we downloaded that information from the Divine. The Divine said, hey, you better know. And so we did our research, and we found out something about you. Should we tell them what we found out about them? Yes. You are magnificent. Absolutely, and we're grateful that you've decided to spend your time, shine your light, and share your magnificence with us. You can be seated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we know this about you because the research that we've done is actually the research we do into ourselves. And you, every single person we encounter, is a reflection of each and every one of us. And so when we see the magnificence in somebody else, it is a reflection of our inherent magnificence. So let us all exclaim together with gusto these words. I am magnificent. Was that enough gusto? Yeah, let's do it again. Let's really give it some oomph this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am magnificent. Yes, you are. Yes, we are. Thank you so much. If you would please welcome today's keeper of the flames here to light the flames of faith. This is Mary Alls. This ceremony, yes. This is a ceremony, a ritual that we have adopted here at Unity of Tucson with this understanding that for each candle that we light, we are acknowledging that at the core of all faith traditions, all religions, all spiritual paths is one thing. That thing is love. Mary.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of our indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living the sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths, and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light is for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of the Spirit in their lives, and for keeping space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. Our final candle on this table is to represent the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. This is your candle. Whatever is in your mind that requires the light.
Thank you, Mary. Peace candle here on your left, we keep consistently illuminated with this understanding that it represents a consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we allow that inner peace to inform our thoughts and our deeds, our intentions, actions, to inform our life, we are creating right where we are a more peaceful world. So let us honor this candle by collectively stating this prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. So it is. Amen. Thank you. Normally at this point I would be introducing a prayer chaplain for the day. I'm not doing that today. We're doing things a little differently. As Charles Fillmore said, I reserve the right to change my mind. And so I've changed my mind a little bit today. The reason that we're doing this is because we've had, some of you will be hearing this news for the first time, but we've had a loss in our community that was unexpected and frankly tragic. The magnificent light that normally has sat in this seat, Darwin, made his transition on Thursday, unexpectedly. Darwin gave. That was his life. He was someone who wanted to give of himself, of his heart, of his time, his talent, everything, every single step that he walked. That was who he was, fundamentally. And he gave to this community. He gave to each and every one of us in ways that are immeasurable, that many of us may not even understand. I wanted to talk a little bit about what we teach, about the nature of infinite life. Because what I want us to really understand is although his physical presence is no longer here, he's here. He's here. The spiral of life is upward. That is its nature. The nature of life is to consistently move forward and evolve. And transition is part of that evolution. Evolution carries us forward, not backward, ever. Eternal and progressive expansion is God's nature, and there are never breaks in the continuity, ever. There can be no breaks in the continuity. So life continues in some other form. That's what we teach. Now, do we teach specific reincarnation? No, because the mind of God is so magnificently immense that we can't comprehend what is potential in its expression. So I don't know what the next expression is, but I do know that the spiral of life means there is something next. I suspect it may not be on this plane of action. It might be on this plane of action. I don't know. But here's the good news. I believe that an unconscious communication consistently goes on, more or less all the time, and that anybody, all people that we have greatly loved are still conscious of us, within us, and by means of us, because that is life's nature. And so let us acknowledge and perhaps accept in our heart that Darwin is present in his fullness right here, right now. The Christ mind, the consciousness, is all that exists. That's it. And those who live on, those who have transitioned will live on because we keep them in mind, because we remember them, because we talk about them. So life is eternal. It is unceasing. And I know that Darwin is off to his next magnificently great adventure. And while I know we will all miss him terribly on this plane of action, just know that he is living extraordinarily in the next thing. So it makes it a little bit of a bittersweet day to have this experience. And for those of you who are hearing this for the first time today, I am sorry that this is the way that you have found out, but I did not want to let a day go without acknowledging the love that this community holds deeply for this magnificent man, Darwin Hall. So, it also makes it a little awkward because how do you now transition into the rest of the day? This month, we've stepped into a new month, and each month we've been acknowledging and really rooting ourselves in particular powers or aspects of our being, rooted in the concept of the 12 powers that were collected by Charles Fillmore and written down into a book. And so this month, November, the power is the power of release. And what is it that we are releasing? We are releasing any concept that there's anything in the world of form that has dominion over our well-being. That's where I begin with understanding the nature of release. And so I would like us all to understand and express our God nature by sharing the new monthly affirmation together with that idea in mind. I will speak the words of the affirmation first, and then I would like for us to say the affirmation twice together. The affirmation this month is, today, I simply let go and find my God nature was there all along. Let's say this together. Today, I simply let go and find my God nature was there all along. Let's say that one more time. Today, I simply let go and find my God nature was there all along. As we step into our centering song, we'd like to acknowledge too that we have prayer chaplains in this community, and we may have need for a few extra prayer chaplains today if something is weighing on your heart, if this news has touched you in a way that is challenging. Please do seek out a prayer chaplain and let them work with you in prayer, which is what we teach. That all healing, the revelation of the divine energy at the core of all creation, is recognized through prayer. And I would like to acknowledge too Darwin's family who are here with us today. Grateful to have you here, and I am so sorry that it's under these circumstances. Let's take a breath. Just take a breath.
I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in give out. I let love, I let go, I release, I know. Breathe, as I give, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. Right here in this moment, I stand firm in an assured knowledge that there is only one infinite power and there is only one infinite presence. There is God and nothing else. God, this greatness on demand, this good orderly direction, this magnificent creative energy that is unfolding itself as all creation. So there is no thing that is separate from the infinite, for there can be nothing separate from the infinite, for then the infinite would not be infinite. And so we are, each and every one of us, magnificent expressions of this wholeness. The whole of us is the magnificence of the divine power. Whether we are on this plane of action or some other plane of action, I know that the nature of life is constant spiral upwards. And I am grateful for this knowledge. And I find comfort in this knowledge. And I allow an unfolding of this magnificent thing called life to continue in this upward spiral of evolution. I step out of the way of thinking I know, and I trust with faith in my heart that this is so. And so in gratitude, overflowing with appreciation, I simply let it be as I relax and allow, trust and know it to be. I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. As I give, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. On my mirror in my washroom, I have a little card that I received. I think it was last year, Halloween of 2021. And it was a quote that said this: "Start each day with a smile on your face and a song in your heart." Darwin Hall. I've had that on my mirror all year. And it will continue to remain there because it's an excellent reminder to me that Darwin
loved to smile and sing and celebrate. And so as we transition into the next part of our service, we're going to celebrate. And I know that Darwin would have been one of the first to stand up and dance to this song. So if you feel compelled to dance, please dance. Here with our featured song today, please welcome Charlie Hall and Chelsea Hicks.
Darwin, right now, dancing to this. Just call me cousin. Good Halls. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. All through my city, all through my home. We flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet, feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes up off it, moving so phenomenally. Room on lock the way we rock it, so don't stop.
'Cause under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When you move, yeah, you already know. So just imagine,
nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel that feeling creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but just dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing.
I can't stop the feeling.
So just dance, dance, dance.
I can't stop the feeling.
So just dance, dance, dance. Hey, ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on.
Rushing on.
Don't need no reason, don't need control. I'm flying high, there's no ceiling when I'm on. 'Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet, hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes up off it, moving so phenomenally. Room on rock the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop.
'Cause under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When you move, yeah, you already know. So just imagine,
Just imagine, just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel that good, good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance. Hey, come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but just dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody stopping soon, so keep dancing.
I can't stop the feeling.
Yeah, so just dance, dance, dance.
Can't stop the feeling.
So just dance, dance, dance.
Can't stop the
Hey,
feeling.
so just dance, dance,
Can't
dance.
stop the feeling.
So just dance, dance. Break it down, hey. Can't stop it, can't stop it.
I got this feeling,
So just dance, dance, dance.
I can't stop the
feeling. Everybody, hey, come on. I've got this feeling in my body. Got this feeling in my body. Come on, wanna see you move your body. Got this feeling in my body. Keep going. I got this feeling in my body. I got this feeling in my body. Come on, I wanna see you move your body. I got this feeling in my body. Come on.
Charlie Hall, Chelsea Hicks. As I was reading this week, the book that we're working from right now, Working with the Law by Raymond Hollowell, as part of our fall renewal, The thing I was struck with is how perfectly aligned these chapters for this week aligned with the power of the month, the power of release, because in it he talks so much about release, give, and that for me is an aspect of release, to give of ourselves. And so, as I step into the lesson today, keep in mind in your own heart your giving nature. How do you give from love, with love, rooted in and as love, the infinite love that is God, the infinite power and presence, that divine essence? It is the core of who you are, and I think that it would be a nice thing if we gave more of that away, with this understanding that it comes from an infinite well and can never be depleted. When we truly understand, when we truly begin to live this principle of the truth of our being, that third aspect of our mission statement, remember who you are. This has really been the thing that has been on my mind so much. Remember who you are. You cannot be separate from this infinite divine power. You are this infinite divine power. That's the whole of you, every cell of your body, every breath of your breath, every beat of your heart is the action, activity, and aspect of divine creative energy. When we truly understand this, you know what? There is no room for anything ever to feel small in our lives, ever. And we are consistently, as I talked a little bit about, we are consistently in that upward spiral, that evolution, that magnificent outflow, no matter what. And you know, you are not the same person that walked in here about a half hour ago. You might think you are, but you're not. You are not the same person. You have had a physiological change. Your whole aspect of being has shifted and changed, and new thoughts have come into your mind. New ways of expressing those thoughts are active there. We're in a consistent sea of movement, moving forward, evolving, no matter what. We get stuck in the muck sometimes, don't we? There's a tool that I have used, and I get a little flack about it in some of my ministerial circles. Actually, you all remember James Mellon, who was here for my doctorate ceremony at the gala? He's the only one who's ever really given me flack about this. Like, I don't understand why you teach it that way. I said, because it works. At least it has worked. You get to be the judge of this now. So we teach this thing called the law of mind action, right? And essentially the law of mind action is a way of understanding how creation comes into being. It's got another way of understanding it. We may even call it the law of cause and effect, right? As we think, so our lives unfold. Well, we're deepening into this, of course, because as we deepen more, we understand it's not just our thoughts, it's the beliefs that underlie those thoughts and the feelings we have about those beliefs. So all of that works together to create. Now, all of that is contained within mind, because everything is contained within mind, because there is nothing other than Christ mind. There is nothing other than mind. That's the only thing that exists. And so I was teaching a class once to try to explain that how our thoughts, rooted in belief, impressed upon this magnificent receptive medium called the law, and what flows forth is the expression of life. And I said, it's kind of like we have all of these little beliefs that are rooted in the law, that are rooted in there, that we are activating all the time. It's like they're a bunch of little chocolate chips. And so I became known as the chocolate chip cookie minister. So we have all of these chocolate chips, right? And some of those are little itty bitty mini chips, and then they've got those really big chunks of chocolate, right? They're all active in our life and in our expression and in our experience. And as we allow them to do their perfect work, they come into expression. We are consistently swimming in a sea of receptivity that I call the law. And let's remember what Raymond Hollowell says about the law. Just like love, an adjective for the law is God. God is love. God is law because there is nothing other than God. That's the only thing that exists. We are thinking and active centers in this magnificent, universal, conscious Christ mind. Each and every one of us is a thinking, active center of creation. Doesn't that feel good? Yeah. And the sum total of all our thoughts is either silently attracting good to us or repelling it from us. One of the first things that we may want to learn is that 90% of our thinking is unconscious. But 100% of our thinking creates. 90% of our unconscious thinking is creating our life. Does that feel depressing? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not even aware of what I'm creating. What do I do now? You become aware. That's the path. That is what this is all about. It is about drawing into the level of awareness that which is below the level of awareness, so that when we know what we are thinking and believing and feeling, we get to make change to make our lives better. That's what it's all about. There was a study. The UCLA Laboratory of Neuroimaging, right? They're taking pictures of brains. Did this study, and what they discovered is that based on the activity that they were able to image in the brain, that an average person has, ready, 70,000 thoughts per day. 70,000 per day. If I had $1 for every thought that I had in a day, I would be $70,000 richer in 24 hours. But 90% of those thoughts are below the level of awareness. 100% of those thoughts are creating in your life. So we talk a lot. I mean, the whole philosophy, the whole New Thought movement is born out of this construct of change your thinking, change your life. You hear that all the time, right? Change your thinking, change your life. It's a really good catchphrase, but what does it truly mean? Because I think we must go deeper. How good are we? Let me ask you, how good do you think you really are at changing what among those 70,000 thoughts are not working for you? How good are you at changing those? Getting better. Working on it. It is getting better every day, right? I still have trouble with it. I'm going to let y'all off the hook. Because I never want to be the minister who's like, oh, I figured it all out. I'm still figuring this stuff out all the time. But part of my job as a minister, as someone that you've elected to be in this position, is to live my life fully and publicly, right? To be the example, just as Jesus was an example, just as the Buddha was an example, just as Moses and Muhammad, they were all examples of living life openly with a deepening understanding of their magnificent divinity. In whatever way works for them. So, I still have trouble. I will admit it freely that I have trouble sometimes. And I hope that does let you off the hook for not thinking you got to have it all figured out all the time. Because I see a lot of people in these communities sometimes stepping up and go, oh yes, it's all God, it's all good. Right? And we're talking about spiritual bypass now. It's all God, it's all good. I have it all figured out, right? But their life is falling apart around their ears. And this is not meant to pass judgment upon them. It's to say, let us not be the ones who are living in that state of denial. Now we do teach denial, but we're not teaching about the denial of our life circumstances. What we're saying is those circumstances have no power, they have no dominion, because we are the ones who have power and dominion over all of it. Do you believe that? So this brings me to Hollowell. Often, when we pray, we think that is all that is necessary is to keep praying. We never adjust ourselves to receive our answers and complain when we do not get them promptly. Anyone live that? It's like, oh, I'm going to keep praying, 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 I'm going to keep praying. And nothing changes. Because we have not adjusted our own mind. We have not adjusted our own heart. We have not truly adjusted that which is the creative factor. We just keep giving it lip service. It's all God, it's all good. Fundamentally, that's true. But are you truly in a place of belief to such a degree that you cannot be thrown from that construct ever by anything? It's a tall order. I'm still working on it. I think we want, how do I phrase this? I think we all tend, here's what it is. I think we all tend to want increase in our lives, yes? We all want to live more magnificent lives all the time. Well, first of all, to get there, acknowledge that your life is magnificent right here, right now, right where you are. Even when things don't look so good, there is magnificence at the core. Because in looking at the things that don't feel or look so good, you are given information about what is happening in that 70,000 thoughts per day. So I think we all tend to want increase. We want to receive more. But are we willing to be impelled into action? Because to receive, as Hollowell states, we must step into a giving construct in mind. I wasn't planning on doing this. May I use you? Would you, both of you, would you stand up here for a moment? Okay. I would like you to stand, and I would like you to just look at each other, face each other, and right? Now, I just want you to receive from each other. All right. Did you notice the shift? Here's the shift. In order for them to receive from each other, they each had to be willing to give. Did you see that energetic shift of, by receiving, I must be giving? I mean, I could feel it. I could feel it. Did you feel it? Yeah. Thank you so much for demonstrating. If we withhold in any way, we should not expect to receive, ever, because we are not willing to give. Imagine the entire world not willing to give. How far do you think we would get? Not very far. That's why I think that spiritual community is so important to me. Because what we are stating that we affirm in this paradigm is that we are here as a collective, unified wholeness that is willing to give of ourselves in service to the greater good. That's what is powerful to me about spiritual community, is that I believe, this is my belief. You may sit there and think, well, he doesn't understand me at all. But I'm going to assume I do. I believe that you are here because you have a willingness to give of yourself. And if you are not willing to give of yourself, you're still welcome here. Release forever from your mind and your heart the notion that thinking the right thoughts will do anything to change your life. But isn't that what you teach? Is it? We do not teach in this philosophy that you get what you want. We teach in this philosophy that you get what you are equal to. And so, our life will shift as we shift our belief. We talk a lot about right thinking, but I think it's right believing. And you get to decide what that right belief is for you. Remember I said at the beginning, you may not believe everything you hear today, but something will touch you that you do believe, and it is important for you to go on the exploration of your beliefs to find what is working for you. So life changes with a shift in belief. Belief never goes away, by the way. It lives in the infinite, in that subjective realm that we call the law. But our focus is what we are addressing. What belief are we putting our focus on? A lot of people are like, I don't want to believe that anymore. Get the belief out of there. I'll tell you the best way to let go of a belief: crowd it out with a good belief. Crowd it out with a different belief. That's the way you let that belief go back to the nothingness from which it came, that nothingness, that ether of infinite, I was going to say soup. Talked about the soup once, right? It is an ether. It's like the infinite soup. If you've got an alphabet soup and you don't like to eat the ones that are there, you don't like to eat the letter A. Well, we'll just say A. You don't like to eat the letter A. You crowd out the A by moving your spoon around all the other letters, right? You don't have to take the A out and go. This is ministry today. I don't normally do this, but God, what is this that you're flowing through me today in this way? Because it was very unexpected. Crowding out the erroneous beliefs with beliefs that do work. That's what we're talking about here. You don't have to try to eliminate a belief. Just crowd it out with the good. Crowd it out with the love. The law always says yes to whatever we impress upon it. That is a very important part of our teaching. It is constantly saying yes to the adoption of our new beliefs. And so, what is the work that we are here to do? We are here to uncover our belief system. If life isn't changing for the better, if life isn't changing for the better, it is of no use to beat yourself up. But adopt a greater receptivity by opening ourselves up in that state of giving, and allow a greater expectation at the level of belief, not just our active thoughts. The key to the law then is we are continually drawing into life what we give and expect. Whether we attract good or bad, it is governed by this same principle. The law always says yes. And so if there is something happening in your experience in your life that doesn't feel so good, it is not about trying to clench those fists and hold on and change it and throw it to the side. No. It is about acknowledging what is and saying, I choose something different. So thoroughly, so fully, right here and right now, that what has been gets crowded out in allowing that which is to be. What we expect, that is an indication of belief. Look past those thoughts that we have, those aware thoughts, those things that we know. I mean, it's easy to know what you know. It's not always easy to know what you don't know. And it's really not easy to not know what you don't know. Look past the aware thoughts to those ideas, those beliefs that are behind those aware thoughts. We cling to those aware thoughts so thoroughly, don't we? Oh, yes, because they feel so good. I'm going to wrap myself up in a blanket of those things of which I am aware because it's a comfort zone for me. But I am ready to let go of that comfort zone. Here's what happens too. When we feel threatened, we grasp even harder to those things of which we are aware. Clenching our fists. You know, the thing that makes us do that really well? Political ads. I don't care what so-and-so candidate says, I'm going to hold on to these thoughts. I'm going to hold on to these beliefs. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be very clear, because we have a wide array and variety of political beliefs, and I'm not here to talk about politics. What I'm here to say is figure out what it is you do believe and let go of the clenched fist that you have to maintain so strongly, that feeling of being threatened. I think that's how we're going to fix the environment that we find ourselves in, letting go of this notion that we must be threatened by everything. Today, I invite us all to unclench our fists. Frankly, in release, it's an invitation to each and every one of us to relax. Just relax. So I'm going to invite us all to relax right here and right now. And I would like you each and every one of us, let's all just see what comes to mind as I invite this question. What is a fundamental belief that I have that is unchangeable? Just acknowledge that it's there. Let there be no judgment around whether it's a good belief or a bad belief. Just recognize that it's there. Now, what I would like you to do is physically clench your fists as though you were holding on to that belief. And feel it, absolutely feel it. And now ask yourself this question: does continuing this belief benefit me? And if it does, unclench your fists. You don't need to hold on so tight. And if it doesn't, unclench your fists, because that's how you let it go. Unclench. Let your fists be unclenched. There's no need to hold on so strongly. Now, in this consideration, you may have noticed something and not even realized you noticed it. That there's some little voice in the back of your head that is informing you. It's informing you of something. It's informing you of what you truly believe. It's easy to bring to mind the awareness of our beliefs. But in that awareness state, can you listen to that voice that is behind the awareness to see what the actual belief at play is? Because it may be contradicting what you have actively, in a state of awareness, brought to mind as a belief. And if it is contradictory, figure out what the contradiction is, and that's where you must release the clenched fist. There will be many, many different experiences that flow forth from this activity, and they're all right. Every single one of them is right. The effect of your efforts does not influence God in any sense, but it does influence you. We are not here to change God. God cannot be changed. We are here fundamentally to change ourselves, our magnificent expression as this divine power. And the good news is we are given the dominion and the authority to do just that, because we all have the right and the freedom to choose. I am never here to tell anybody what to think, ever. What I'm inviting us all into is an exploration of what it is we do think, so that we can make our thoughts more effective in demonstrating magnificence in our lives. I think we spend far too much time and effort trying to influence God out there, forgetting the truth of who we are. When we pray, some of us still do this in New Thought. When we pray, like, God, make this happen, we're not going to do anything to God. We're just keeping ourselves in that state of mind that says, God, this is going to continue in my life. Because that's what we're telling ourselves. You are the believer, but not the belief. You get to decide what the belief is. The effect of your efforts does not influence God in any sense, but it does influence you. That's the power of prayer. The primary tool we teach for change is prayer. When I teach prayer class, one of the first questions I ask is, what is the purpose of prayer? And everybody comes up with all these beautiful, flowery ideas. And I say, no, the purpose of prayer is one thing only: to change our mind and our heart, to change our belief, so that we are rooting ourselves in a healing consciousness that makes our lives better. We're not trying to do anything to anything out there. We're fundamentally shifting our own. That's what prayer is all about. The infinite is neutral in its creative nature. That's the law. The law is infinite in its creative nature. And Hollowell spends a lot of time reiterating to us that the law works without discrimination. It just works. So let's relax into working with the law. Let us unclench our fists. Let us trust that the law is always flowing forth into expression because it can do nothing other than that. And we are the points of creation for that to unfold. Let us eliminate forever the idea that we can coerce God into anything. So no more clenched fists. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. The homework this week, do you give homework to your community? I give homework to my community every week. I would like you to consider in the activity of your daily life the way you tend to be. I want you to look at the way you act. I want you to look at what you have acted upon you. And I want you to look at the ways in which you remain neutral in any given situation. Just go on the exploration. How do you act? How are you acted upon? How do you take what it is that you're receiving from the outside is what I mean by that. Is that because I know I kind of phrased that in a weird way. How do you act? How are you acted upon? And how do you remain neutral in any given activity of your day? I just want you to go on an exploration this week of those things, keeping those at the forefront of your mind. I would like you to ask yourself these questions around that. What is working and what isn't working? And then unclench your fists and consider something different if it's not working. Activate this practice within you. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are. Settling our minds and our hearts into whatever it is that we choose to take with us today. There may be some kernel of truth, some magnificent idea, something that we are willing to say yes to, that has been expressed through our own connection to and as this divine power. Let us allow that idea to be present here and now.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. 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 I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. Right here in this moment, I live in the space of the sacred. I open my mind and my heart to a deeper understanding of the sacred, in full recognition that it's all sacred. My mind, my heart, the expression, the interaction, the community, it's all sacred. And I impart upon this sacred nature the magnificent blessings of my heart, knowing that I am that power, we are that power, each and every one of us is this power of love flowing forth, consistently unfolding itself through our beliefs, through our thoughts, and through our feelings. And so I trust and know that that which is required to be known is known, and that anything that we may be holding on to so tightly that we are in a position here to unclench those fists and to trust in the sacred nature of love to flow forth as expression in our lives. For it is constantly doing that no matter what. And so it is with joy, gladness, gratitude, and appreciation overflowing from within that I allow the unfoldment of this word to take root perfectly, easily, effortlessly. I release, trust, and know that the word spoken right here and right now is the law unto my life, as it is for each and every one of us in the way that we understand it. And so in this release, I relax, trust, and know, and I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, this love. This love.
Thank you. It occurs to me, oh, it's Ross. Would you please welcome to the stage a member of our board of directors, Ross Boehm. Thank you, Ross.
I had no idea what I was going to talk about today until I heard the message. Release. I'm reminded of my previous wife, which some of you knew, Vicki, passed away about 9 years ago. And she went through 6 months of being quite ill of melanoma cancer. And she had chemo. She had a stay in the hospital, and during her last month or so, she stayed at home under hospice care. But one of the things that really struck me about release was the fact that the Unity teaching of the fact that we don't just die and we're gone. What gave her a lot of comfort and solace was the fact that her spirit lives on. And in the waning days, that's what gave her a lot of comfort. Your spirit lives on. And speaking of release, I'm asking you to release yourself of some of the funds that you have to help support our spiritual home, which is needed. See, I got right into that, didn't I?
That was good.
So anyway, here's how you can do it.
Yeah, there are many ways you can do it. Hey, I've got a new thing happening on the wall. It's a QR code. You can scan that with your camera, and you can go directly to our site where we collect donations online. You can also give online by texting Unity Tucson to 73256, making your contribution using a card in the bookstore. As the baskets go around, there's going to be people lining up. I believe our ushers are here to make the collection. I would like us to hold whatever it is we're offering to Unity of Tucson today right by our heart. If it's one of the cards that says you're an automatic giver or giving by electronic means, or if it's cash or a check, please hold it to your heart right here. And let us share together, confidently, this givingness statement. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me. And so it is. We have a new song this month.
Easy, you'll know it. Feel free to sing along. God is my source, God is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Joy, joy is my source, joy is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Peace, peace is my source, peace is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Love, love is my source, love is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. God, God is my source, God is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Yes, I have everything I need.
Yes. Deborah Roberts, our prayer chaplain here, is going to offer a blessing over the offering.
What a joy to join in the spiral of all our open hands, recognizing that God, our source of all, is goodness on demand, and so trusting that tremendous abundance and prosperity that I rely on moment to moment, always new, always greater. I give thanks with joyous radiance and appreciate all that is here today, including the spirits of all. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Deborah. It's time to celebrate our birthdays. So if Roberta would please, as you're making your way up here, perhaps we should sing happy birthday. So if you're celebrating a birthday this month, would you please stand so we can sing happy birthday to you? There we are. Ready? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right, I'm going to take the basket, and so that nobody thinks I'm playing favorites. Would you choose one of those for me at random? There we are. There it is. The winner today is, I'll hold on to this for the moment. The winner today is Ruth Starwell. Yes. She has invited us to give some of our support this month in terms of our tithe out to Youth on Their Own. Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love celebrations. It is pledge time at Unity of Tucson. During the month of November, we invite you to look in your heart and see how you are willing to support this community, this church, this spiritual family in the coming year. This is a method that we use to help us solidify our planning and create a visionary budget for our community. I have a goal this year. So this is the third year that we've done our pledge program. I have a goal this year because we have not met this in the last 2 years. I have a goal that we guarantee through our pledges all the operational costs of our community for the entire year. That is my desire. You know how we can do that? If 200 people were willing to give $40 a week every single week for an entire year, our operational needs would be fully met. And imagine what we could do with the excess. we could go out into this world and do magnificent things. So I'm inviting you to make a commitment here today and throughout this month. There are many ways that you can do that. You can pick up a pledge form, which is on the information table at Molly's table. There's another way that you can do it, because I'm really into QR codes these days. If you want to make your pledge right now, you can scan this code, and it will take you right to the place where you can do that. We're inviting pledges into two funds this year, as we did last year. We're doing it a little bit differently, though, than we did it last year. First of all, we do need our general operations fund fully supported. So that's the primary fund that we're asking you to make a pledge to. We are also consistently collecting and putting into a capital improvement and repair fund monies that come in as well. And we would love for you to make a pledge to that as well. On average, people give about 3 to 5% of their known giving to the Capital Improvement and Repair Fund. So I'll let you do all that math. You can figure that out, right? But you find what's in your heart to support this community, and I'm grateful to everyone who supports this community. There will be more information in emails, and we're going to be talking about this all month. There is also, when Expanding Horizons comes out in the next week, there will be pledge forms in Expanding Horizons as well. So thank you so much for your support, for making your pledge, and there is also an option when you make your pledge. You can set up your automated giving so that whether you are here in the room or not, your support always is met here. So grateful to each and every one of you for that. A few things that are happening at Unity of Tucson. We have an outing coming up. Next Saturday, November 12th at 9:30 a.m., there will be a group that will be meeting at the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. They will meet in front to buy their tickets at 9:30 a.m. Once you buy your tickets, here's my recommendation. Go immediately down to where they do the Raptor free flight at 10 a.m. It is incredible. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to be with you next Saturday. I would love to be there, but I have another engagement that I have to be part of next Saturday that's been in the plans for a while before this came up for me. Otherwise, I would definitely be there. But there's more information at Molly's table. Hi, Molly. If you don't know who Molly is, she's waving her hand in the back there and grateful for you. Another outing that we have is Gaslight Theater. Tickets are on sale today. We are going to be going to Gaslight Theater for their Christmas show. It's called, what is it called? Christmas Holiday.
Gaslight Christmas Vacation.
Gaslight Christmas Vacation. I don't work there, you do. But are we going to be able to see you potentially there?
Well, today I will say I have to work at noon.
So Charlie Hall will be in the show that day. And Chelsea, are you working at Gaslight these days?
I'm at the Gaslight Music Hall in Oro Valley.
Oh, so she's at the Gaslight Music Hall in Oro Valley. So there are many opportunities. If you want to know more about Chelsea and Charlie, make sure you talk to them after the service. They're delightful people.
QR code.
If you would like your tickets to join us on December 17th, you can buy those tickets in the bookstore. So please do take care of that. Our prayer chaplain in service today, the one that I knew of was Deborah Roberts. Because I took the reading spot today, I didn't align with another prayer chaplain. Is there a prayer chaplain in the room? Sandy, thank you so much. Sandy and Deborah will be available to you, and Ruth will be available to you. If you need some time of prayer, they are going to remain here in the sanctuary. Seek them out, and they will be happy to do a 1-minute miracle with you. The other way that you can have prayer in your life is we have a prayer intention box. Write out your intention, put it in the box. That all gets prayed over by our prayer group here, our prayer chaplains, and also is subsequently sent to Unity's prayer ministry called Silent Unity in Kansas City. And lots of people pray over what it is you are looking to change in your life. I want to say thank you to every single person who made today possible. I want to say, first of all, thank you to Wally and to Don and to Tyler back there, our technical crew today. Thank you so much for your service. Deeply grateful for the ways we are blessed in technology. I want to say thank you to Deborah Roberts for your magnificent meditation this morning. Thank you, and for the blessing of the offering. Thank you to Sandy and to Ruth for stepping up as prayer chaplains in service today as well. I would like to say thank you to Chelsea and Charlie. Always a delight to have you join us. Thank you so much. This magnificent music team, thank you so much for your service. Thank you to Ross for being our board member on duty today. I want to say special honor and gratitude for your presence here today, Darwin's family, Jerry and Howard and Kempton. And Pam, thank you so much. Delighted to have you here today. I wish it were under different circumstances. Know that you are loved, you are blessed, and we behold the Christ in you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, yes. Thank you to this community for being present, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but in this thing called life. I am so grateful for who we are as a community and how we express in this world. Let us continue to celebrate that every single day. As we complete our time here today and then move on to some social time in Harmony Hall, let us share together our prayer of divine awareness. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. And because it is the power of release this month, there was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you've got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm living life as God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm living life as God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm living life as God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm living life as God. Break it down. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm living